Hey guys, Tyler from Duelcaster here. I got a little bit of a treat for you guys today. I'm playing a aggro deck. Yes, that's right. I usually don't play aggro decks, but since the meta game right now is dominated by them, I figure I give one a shot for completeness' sake, if for no other reason. And this deck's actually kind of fun to play. It's pretty linear. It's Arahbo, Roar of the World, one of the new Commander 2017 cards. It's kind of busted in the sense that you got this extra ability in the command zone that most other decks, almost every other deck, doesn't have access to. But it's pretty straightforward. You just want to play all the cheap cats you can in bash face. And I got this list from MTG Top 8 list. I made a top 8 of an event a while ago, a few months ago, and I made a few modifications. And my opponent is running Atraxa, Praetors Voice, and this is a kind of tricky commander to play against in the dark because you can build it a lot of different ways. So I don't know whether he's going super friends with planeswalkers or +1/+1 counters and creatures. There's quite a few ways you can build it. So let's get started. Okay, let's see how fast I can bludgeon my opponent to death with cats. This hand is pretty good. I got quite a few cats and both colors of mana and Swiftfoot Boots, so seems fine. My opponent leads off with Tropical Island into Avacyn's Pilgrim. I draw a Scythe Leopard, which is better than the other one-drop cats that I had because of the landfall ability. I can attack with it as a 5/5 with Arahbo's trigger, which happens every turn even if I have a summoning sick cat. My opponent attacks into my Scythe Leopard, but I decide to just take the damage because I want to attack with a 5/5 on my next turn, which I do. And then post-combat, I play an Adorned Pouncer, which is a really good addition to this deck from Hour of Devastation, new card. And I could have Dromoka's commanded away the Avacyn's Pilgrim. I kind of wish I had done that, but in any case, he plays Atraxa on his turn. I play another land for landfall. Then I give my Pouncer +1/+2 with Pendelhaven and another +3/+3 with Arahbo. So it's a 5/6 double strike attacking on turn 3, so not too shabby. And then I go Dromoka's command, having the Scythe Leopard fight the Avacyn's Pilgrim and putting an extra counter on the Adorned Pouncer. So that's 12 damage. So he goes from 14 to 2. And then he goes Gilded Drake on his turn. So that's a bit unfortunate for me. This is a really good card for blue. And then he just takes my Adorned Pouncer, attacks with Atraxa, gains 4 life back, and then he gets to proliferate my Adorned Pouncer on his turn, which is kind of salt in the wounds. But I still have a cat I can attack with in the Scythe Leopard, so I do that. He's not going to block and trade off his Atraxa for that. So I get him back down to 2, then I play Stoneforge Mystic, which can search for... I only have a couple equipment in this deck, Skull Clamp and Jite, and I think Skull Clamp would be better on this current board at the moment. So I just play Lean and Elder, though, to get another cat that can potentially attack next turn. He goes and attacks me back with Atraxa, then plays Mentor of the Meek and proliferates again. On my turn, I draw land, which is nice. So he's at 6. I gotta see if I can kill him this turn. So I put Skull Clamp into play with the Stoneforge Mystic, then equip it. Although, yeah, the reason I put it into play with the Mystic's ability because I was worried about a counter spell. So I just put it on my Leon and Elder to hopefully draw some cards that might be relevant, and I do in the form of Berserk, which is pretty awesome. So I attack with a 5/5 Scythe Leopard. He might not block, and then he doesn't. So I play Berserk, which would be lethal if he has no interaction because it doubles its power and gives it trample. So it would be 10 damage, and he's at 6, but he has Negate as the last card in his hand. So on his turn, he attacks with both the Atraxa and the Adorned Pouncer this time, so I have to chump block the Pouncer. Then he suspends Ancestral Vision. On my turn, I draw Emerged Unscathed, which is a really great card. I might have actually lost this game had I not drawn that. It gives a creature protection from any other color. So since he has both of his creatures are white, I can play Emerged Unscathed, naming white, and then my 6/4 Scythe Leopard is enough to kill him, and it can't be blocked, and he was at 5 life. So barely scraped by. That first game made a few mistakes that ended up nearly costing me, but looking pretty good going into game 2, and this hand looks fine. I don't have a turn 1 cat is the worst part about this hand, but I have plenty of other cats to follow up beyond turn 2 and beyond. So I lead off with a fetch land. He plays a Lotus Cobra, and I get a Temple Garden into play tapped, and I play Blade of the Sixth Pride, which is just a generic 3/1, but it's a cat rebel and with a super sweet art, so that's got that going for me. He keeps drawing lands to combo with his Lotus Cobra, which is annoying. Then he goes Atraxa and Swords to Plowshares on his turn 3, so that's a pretty strong start for my opponent. I draw an Umezawa's Jite and crack a fetch for a Savannah, and then play Ronas the Indomitable, which is really awesome in this deck because even a 1-power cat, when it gets the buff from Arahbo at the beginning of combat, it's large enough that Ronas can almost assuredly attack unless I have no other creatures. On his turn, he goes Demonic Tutor, and then he plays Llanowar Elves and attacks me for 6. I can't block anything. On my turn, I try to play Oreskos Explorer, which would give me a Plains to my hand, but he has Spell Queller to counter it. So he just flashes in this 2/3 Flying Spirit, and I am no longer able to get my Plains. So the best I can do is play a Feral Prowler, which is good enough to make Ronas big enough to attack. Feral Prowler is just a pretty basic card, 1/3 that draws a card when it dies, but got that critical creature type in cat. So he attacks with the Spell Queller and the Atraxa, then plays a fetch land and gets Renegade Rallier, which, since he has Revolt, gets the fetch land back again, and then he just passes the turn. So I'm kind of on the ropes here. I play my Umezawa's Jite equipped to Ronas, and then trying to kind of stabilize here. I attack with a 5/5 Indestructible. He has no good block, so he has to chump block. I get 2 counters on the Jite, so I could survive here if I chump block with Feral Prowler, but he has a Fatal Push to kill the Feral Prowler, and he has just enough power to kill me, even if I were to gain 4 life off the Jite, so I just concede there. So we're on to game 3. And here I am on the play, and unfortunately I don't have a 1-drop cat once again, but I do have a good curve otherwise. I have coming to play tap land plus a bunch of 2-drop cats and a Penumbra Bobcat. So he goes turn 1 Birds of Paradise, pretty strong start. There's my 1-drop cat, a little turn too late, so now I can play Fleecemane Lion instead, which is one of the better 2-drop cats in this deck, if not the best. And then I pass back to him. He has a Cavern of Souls naming Angel, and then goes Demonic Tutor. I don't know what he's going for there, but I play Selfless Spirit pre-combat, and then go to pump up my Fleecemane Lion, but he has Path to Exile. So I get a Plains, and then post-combat I play a Pouncing Jaguar, that 1-drop cat I was talking about earlier, just a 2/2 with Echo for green mana. All right, so I'm looking okay here. Looks like he's stalled on mana, but he has enough to play a Laboratory Maniac. Weird card. I would not expect this out of Atraxa. This is a very strange Atraxa build that he has here, but you can build that deck in a lot of ways. So on my turn, I pay Echo, and I'm thinking about playing this Johnny Caller of the Pride Planeswalker, which is really good in this deck, because giving your things flying and double strike is just amazing. But since he's at 19 life, I just decide to plus a Johnny by putting a counter on the Pouncing Jaguar and then attack with these 2 things. So on his upkeep, I have a crazy surprise here from my opponent. He casts Demonic Consultation, which basically allows him to exile his entire deck down to 0 cards, and then since he does this in his upkeep, he actually just straight up wins the game on the spot on the draw step because of the Laboratory Maniac. So wow, crazy game. I've never had that combo pulled on me in Duel Commander. I don't think I've ever lost a Laboratory Maniac before in Duel Commander, but that card's a very dangerous card, pretty scary. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at Arahbo, one of the premier aggressive decks in the format. If you liked the video, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I have awesome Duel Commander content coming at you every week on Thursdays. And let me know in the comments below if you think if you noticed a huge play mistake I made, or if you think why are you running this card? You know, if I could build my deck any different. Always looking to improve that. So love to hear from you guys. And anyway, this is Tyler from Duelcaster Mage signing off. Thanks for watching.